Today, I'm taking you on a tour of 4 LA guitar stores. I just returned from a quick trip to California where I was staying with my good friend Gabriel Bergman. Now, Gabriel is a fantastic guitar player who runs his own YouTube channel, so if you're interested in learning how to play like John Mayer and the Grateful Dead, he does a fantastic job of that. And Gabriel was a huge help when it came to filming the content for this video, so massive thanks to Gabriel for that. So during my time in LA, I wanted to visit a few of the best guitar stores that the city has to offer. Starting off with a place called LA Vintage Gear. Situated in the Burbank area of Los Angeles, the owner Cliff Jones opened the store after a few years of collecting, buying and selling instruments. And when a few of his industry pals started to notice, people like Dean Parks, Tim Pierce and Mike Landau, they enlisted the services of Cliff to sell their own guitars, which he originally did out of his own home before moving to the space in Burbank where LA Vintage Gear currently resides. So a lot of incredible players have visited and continue to visit Cliff's store to buy their gear. Just a couple of hours before we went in, Alan Hines had dropped by, and the day after that, Tim Pierce was in filming a video for his own YouTube channel. We went over because we'd heard that they sell a lot of two-rock amps. Now, me being someone that had never tried out a real two-rock amp, I was eager to see what all the fuss was about. We did go in half an hour before closing, so obviously didn't have all the time in the world to check out the store, but Cliff was really nice about it. He let us try out the amps, he had a chat with us, and he even gave us free t-shirts once he found out that we were filming for my YouTube channel, so that was really cool of him. Anyway, here is a look inside LA Vintage Gear.
Hey, how's it going? Here we are at LA Vintage Gear. We're checking out some two-rock amps with these lovely gentlemen right here. We got the silver sterling signature head and this fancy gray suede. It's a great amp. It's definitely a, an extension upon what everything else that two-rock does. The high headroom kind of, killer clean, so to speak.
Up next, we have a guitar store that I'm sure all of you have heard of before because they actually have a huge YouTube channel that has featured some of the biggest names in music. Post Malone, Dave Grohl, Slash, Robin Ford, Joe Bonamassa. These are just a few of the artists that choose to do their shopping at Norman's Rare Guitars. Naturally, I had to include this store. Now, we actually went over twice because on the first day we couldn't film anything. Norm was being interviewed for Reverb.com. And although we weren't able to film any content that day, I'm still really glad that we went because we were able to just sit on the sidelines and watch and listen to Norm tell the stories of some of the incredible vintage instruments in his store, including Tom Petty's personal SG and a hat that Tom Petty would actually wear on stage. So it was really cool and really special to see that. So we went back the next day and Norm was gracious enough to give up some of his time for a quick interview. So here's a look inside Norman's Rare Guitars in Tarzana, California. We're here at Norman's Rare Guitars in Tarzana, California with the man himself, Norm Harris. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for showing up and coming here and honoring us. And we're going to get it right this time.
Yeah, yes.
I always look better with the camera off, but we're going to do it again just for you people who are gluttons for punishment. So thank you for coming in and all that.
Appreciate it. So can you tell us, like, how long has Norman's Rare Guitars been on the go for, and have you always been in this location?
We have not always been in this location, but in this area since 1975. That's when I first opened, and I was kind of buying and selling guitars in Florida prior to when I opened the store here. And we settled in this area in about 1970, and I was kind of buying and selling guitars on my own. And in 75, we opened our first store, which was 500 square feet. Then we moved to a 1,900 square foot store, and this one is about 6,000 square feet. And I never thought I'd fill it up, but as you can see, there's a few guitars here, and we've got about 600 guitars in a warehouse and a couple hundred guitars in the back. So there's a lot of guitars here. So and you were asking me what are my favorites, and I have a lot of favorites. This is one of my favorite jazz guitars. This is a blonde 62 Super 400 CES. Great sounding guitar, but I love a lot of different guitars. So I mean, we have loads of Les Pauls and SGs and ES335s and Stratocasters, Telecasters, Jazzmasters, Jaguars, Fender basses, Martin acoustics, Dobros, Gibson acoustics, Taylor acoustics. So we have a lot of pretty much everything. We want to have a selection when big groups and people come in. We want to be able to have something that they would want to have.
Of course. And in case any of you watching don't already know, Norman's Rare Guitars, they have an incredible YouTube channel where they interview, celebrity guitar players that come in here, like Joe Bonamassa, Slash, Dave Grohl. Our mutual friend Tim Pierce comes in a lot.
Absolutely. Jason Sine, who's another real good friend. And we've had, just one or two videos. If you're not familiar with the store, we have one called Who Shops at Norm's, Part 1 and Part 2. It'll give you an idea. And there's a lot of actors that live in LA as well. So they come in, and we have a lot of subscribers. We have a new thing called the All Guitar Network, ALL Guitar Network. It's free. You go to the App Store, sign up for it, and it's like taking our videos and extending it even more.
Right.
And we have a new podcast that we're doing right now as well that is not up yet, but will be up shortly. So I'm really excited about that. That's really working out great.
And what guests do you have lined up for that so
Well,
far?
we have already done Dweezil Zappa, we did Josh Smith, we've done a lot of other guests. We have about 10 episodes already kind of recorded.
Yeah.
I just talked to Lenny Kravitz, he's going to do one for us.
Incredible.
I talked to Richie Sambora, he's going to do one for us. So a lot of my buddies I'm kind of calling in the favor. So, but it's very entertaining because even the people that are not as well known, the quality of the players is very high. So there's a lot of studio musicians that you may not know who they are, but you've heard them on record a lot.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of those people, and you need to know about them.
Yeah. Well, that's really exciting, man. I really look forward to listening to that podcast when it
Thank you.
airs.
And there's a lot of young groups that we want to kind of introduce people to that we want people to know about. So just the podcasts and the videos from us in the All Guitar Network. They reach everybody all over the world. So we're trying to get exposure for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. So, and it's a lot of fun doing these things.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for taking the time to
Thank
talk with me again.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a look at some of the incredible instruments inside this vintage guitar shop, starting with a beautiful Lemon Burst Les Paul. So let's take a look. So this is 39 R9, which means it's a 1959 Gibson reissue, and as you can see it's in Lemon Burst, so it's kind of got that Peter Green vibe to it. Also reminds me of Slash's Appetite for Destruction Les Paul, which was a similar colour, and actually wasn't a Gibson Les Paul, fun fact. But that guitar obviously didn't have pickup covers on it, it had the zebra coils, but still very similar colour. Neck is like sanded down, as you can see. A lot of realistic relicing going on with this guitar. And now over here we've got two Gibson Junior guitars. We've got a double cut Les Paul, one pickup, one single P90, and then this, which is 1964 Gibson SG Junior. Has new tuners on it, but other than that, it's all original. Again, 1P90. I'm really digging one pickup guitars at the minute. I'm on a bit of a Jared James Nichols binge, so I've been kind of lusting after a Gibson Junior, particularly an SG. So we might plug this one in later on. Oh, and this one was from 1959. Over here, not a guitar, but something that I'd also really like in my collection. This is a Marshall Silver Jubilee, and I really like these amps because it reminds me of the days when Joe Bonamassa used to play Marshalls, and I absolutely loved his tone with these amps in particular. And I think Slash has used these. I think he used them on the Use Your Illusion records as well when he was with Guns N' Roses. Fantastic Marshall amp.
Now, perhaps the most visited guitar store in LA is one that you will find right in the heart of Hollywood. It's another celebrity musician hotspot, and it's home to some incredible pieces of music history. I'm of course talking about Guitar Center Hollywood. Now, to be honest with you guys, me personally, I have never been a huge fan of Guitar Center, mainly because almost all of their guitars, it seems, are locked to their stand, so you always have to go over and ask if you want to play something, which has always been strange to me because whenever I go to shops like LA Vintage or Norms or Carter Vintage in Nashville, you'll literally find $20,000 Strats just hanging on their stands, which are free for you to play. But this Guitar Center in particular is very unique to the rest of them for a number of reasons, and you're about to find out why. So let's take a look inside Guitar Center Hollywood.
Alright, today we're in Hollywood, we're at the Guitar Center over here, and I have to say this particular Guitar Center has to be my favourite out of all the ones that I've visited, mainly because they have an amazing selection of vintage gear in the back part of the store, which is not something that you would typically find in your average Guitar Center. And of course they have all these historic guitars. You know, we've got the Eddie Van Halen Frankenstrat over here. We've also got Clapton's original Cherry Red 335 through there. And right now what we're standing on is this called the Rock Walk?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're standing on the Rock Walk. So they have all these handprints of famous musicians. And yeah, it's a very unique Guitar Center to say the least. So let's go inside, take a look at what's in the store. We were in this store a few days ago and I was thinking to myself, why is this 1957 Gibson Les Paul Junior only $2,500? And then I realized it's actually a 3/4 size guitar. I didn't know Gibson made 3/4 size guitars back in the day, but yeah, you can see it there when you actually look at it next to the other Les Pauls. Another cool thing about this Guitar Center is that a lot of celebrities come here. So that path that we just walked along 2 days ago, we came here and walked past Travis Scott.
That was something.
So yeah, that happened. Right, so there's also a Mesa Buki showroom, I guess. It's just right across the street. So we're gonna go take a look and hopefully they let us film some stuff in there.
They sell, I think, Star Guitars, Andersons, and Mesa Boogie, obviously.
Quite a cool selection of stuff in this store. Got your shred guitars, traditional sort of Strat, Telly style guitars. It's cool. And of course, treble rectifiers.
So those are some of the stores that I managed to visit on my trip to LA, and yes, I did come home empty-handed. I didn't buy the vintage Gibson SG Junior, nor did I buy that beautiful gold sparkle Strat that was in Guitar Center. I still have dreams about that one. But that's the thing about being an adult, sometimes you have to be sensible with your money. I mean, most of the time you do. If you visited LA yourself or you happen to live there and you've visited these guitar stores, let me know what you thought of them in the comment section below. And as well as that, if you feel that there are any other guitar stores that should have been included in this video but you didn't see, please also let me know. I'm expecting to be back in LA for Winter NAMM early next year, so who knows, maybe I'll be able to make a part 2 to this video. That's all for today's video, people. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you feel like supporting the channel, please click the like button down below. Please also click subscribe and click the bell to be notified anytime that I upload a new video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.